All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Makakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful that got there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem Shah. All right, and what I want to go into today, we're dealing with Esau, Edom, and how the devil rules, with the reasoning that might is right. And the scriptures go into that. You might have, you've been following, geopolitics, the news, a lot of people that critique, America, these Western governments, you hear this phrase, might is right, and we'll look into that. But that's bagged up, by the scriptures, because you go into Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, this is the mind, it goes into the mind of Esau, Edom, the devil, the wicked, mainly beginning with the elites, man, but it goes into their mindset and their reasoning, how they run the earth, when you go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and I started verse 6. It says, "Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use the creatures like as in you." Because these devils, all they do is overindulge in everything. They overfish the oceans. These devils, they mine for oil. They overdo everything. You see, they don't give the rest, the land, or they don't do the land Sabbath, so the land never rests. These devils overdo everything, man. They're destroying creation. Because they have a very wasteful, irresponsible mindset when it comes to rulership. It's all about the right now. Just like Esau was, he sold his birthright because it was about the right now, what he wanted. The devil only thinks long term when it comes into wickedness. When it comes to implementing wickedness, he thinks long term, but when it comes to being a responsible ruler, the devil only thinks about the right now. So the earth itself is like a creature that he just uses up and he just wastes. So verse 7 said, "Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us," man. That voluptuous lifestyle, man. This devil, he overdoes everything. This devil, that's why you have a term, a trillionaire or a billionaire, when you got people starving. Here it is, you got the concept of a billionaire in your kingdom, but you have whole nations that are starving. Because the devil, what you call a niggard, you see? And it says, "Let us crown ourselves with rosebud before they be withered." And it's all about rushing. It's all about rushing. This YOLO, this live, you only live once. It's all about yourself. It's all about being a hyper individual. It's all about you in the moment. That's the spirit of this devil, man. It said, "Let us oppress." It says, "Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this." Because Esau in the spirit, he knows that he's on the time clock. Not only in rulership, but to exist, man. This nigga knows inwardly that he's on the time clock, man. That's why he doesn't mind tempting death. That's why he gets a kick on what you call extreme sports, skydiving, mountain climbing, all these things that tempt death. He gets a kick out of it, man. All these wicked rituals. He just does. Esau's all about doing everything that comes to his mind, man. Even this new world order. This is this nigga trying, to make a name for himself, trying to make a mark for himself by trying to pull off this new world order, man. And it says, verse 10, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man, but does not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient, all right, gray hairs of the age, man. So this nigga has, all right, no boundaries on his wickedness, man. Okay, he'll oppress a child the same way he'll oppress, all right, an elderly man. Okay, he doesn't care. He has no standard, okay, when it comes to his wickedness, man. There's nothing that this devil won't do. Okay, and this is why this is why the Lord gave this man a short time to rule, man. Okay, to be a punishment for us. Okay, and to be example of what not to be. And see, he done did that, man. You know, he done did that. So now it's time for the Lord to bring this man down, because Esau done ran this course, man. The nigga ain't right. Okay. He's not fit for rulership, and he's not even fit to be on the earth, man. Now let's go to, all right, the main point of the lesson. When you go to Wisdom of Solomon 2:11, it said, "Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth." Okay, and this is how this is the reasoning of the men that run the earth, the nation of people that run the earth. Let our strength be the law of justice. So Esau feel, if he's able to do it to you and you can't stop him, then it's right. He's justified. If you can't stop him from doing it to you, all right, then he's justified, man. That's how this man thinks. That's the mindset of Esau Edom. Okay? Look what he came and did to, okay, the northern tribes in the Americas, man. Okay? Then he went and rounded up Jake, okay, in the interiors and western coast of Africa, brought them into captivity. You know, and look at the treatment they got in his mind, nigga. If you can't stop me, I'm right. And then look what he continues to do to this day, man. He just continues to bully, okay? Because he loves to bully these weaker nations. You see? Esau loves to bully these weaker nations, man. Okay, into submission. Extort them, extort the locals, all right? Steal the resources. Okay, and in his mind, nigga, if you can't stop me, I'm right. Okay, and he justifies himself, man. So his strength is the law of justice, man. Okay, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. So he like, look, if you're weaker than me, you're worthless. You're useless. Okay, all you are is labor to me. That's your only use, is to be my labor. If you're weaker than me, your only reason to exist is to be a laborer for me. Okay, and be fully submitted to my wickedness, man. This is how this man operates, man. Okay, so when you go, let's go here, because I got that pulled up. So I said the might is right policy. It says might makes right, or might is right, is a aphorism that asserts that having superior strength and power gives one the ability to control society and enforce one's own agenda, beliefs, concepts of justice, and so on. Okay? So this is the reasoning of Esau Edom and how he runs the earth. Okay? Read it again. It says the might make right. It says asserts that having superior strength of power gives one the ability to control society and enforce one's own agenda, beliefs, concepts of justice, and so on, man. Okay? So this devil feels, all right, that if you can't match him, okay, in power, then he has the right to come in and establish his own beliefs on you, his concept of justice on you, his own agenda on you, and he's right because you can't stop him. That's what makes him right. Okay, and this is how this nigga runs the earth. This is how he deals. This is how the devil deals with the blessing given to him by Isaac. Because you go back to the blessing, okay, showing you Esau not fit for rulership, man. When you go to Genesis 27, okay, go. Genesis 27. In Genesis 27 and 39, it says, and Isaac his father answered and said to him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. Okay? Which the devil, he was blessed with the rulership of the earth, but it was temporal. Jacob was blessed with it, eternally, forever. And this is what Esau, he wants to swap blessings now. He done ruled in his temporal kingdom. Now he wants to swap blessings. Okay, now he wants to take our blessing as well. Not swap, but take our blessing as well. Okay? And want to extend his wicked empire forever. He wants the blessing of an eternal kingdom. Okay? And he thinks that he's going to do it because he has the might. Okay? Because he has might. But he's limited. And the Lord showing Esau how limited he is, man. That's what we have to understand. What we're seeing now, the Most High showing Esau, he's limited, man. Nigga, you don't have nowhere near enough might. Okay? You don't have nowhere near enough might. Okay? To pull off what you're trying to pull off, man. Alright? That's why it's going to be an epic failure, man. I'm talking about Operation Epic Fury, nigga. This is Operation Epic Failure. Everything that you're trying to do. Okay? So, it says in verse 40, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Now, I want to get this word live by the sword. Okay? Because his blessing was to live by the sword. Okay? Not only was he given the sword, okay, but he was to live by the sword. You go into that word live, okay, in the Hebrew, all right, it's haya, okay, kaya, all right, kaya, okay, and it means to live, to have life, to remain alive, to sustain life. So this devil and his blessing, he will have to sustain his blessing, okay, through the sword. He will have to constantly be at war, okay, to live proportionally, okay, to be quickened. It says to be alive, okay, to continue in life, to remain alive, okay. So this sword is this devil survival mode, man. And especially right now, Esau is in survival mode with this sword. There was a time when he was prospering, he abounded with the sword, okay. But now the Lord has risen up resistance to this nigga and this sword, man. Okay, beginning with the prophets on the spiritual side, and now the Lord is raising up nations to come against this man on the carnal level, man. Okay? But this devil was given this sword to continue in life, to remain alive. He lives by this sword, man. And that's his law of justice, that sword. Okay? The law of justice for Esau is his military might. Okay? And if he's able to pull it off, that means he's justified, man. But the Lord finna bring this man to a swift end. Okay? And that's why, all right, the rightful rulers, which are Israelites, because you go into, okay, the spirit of Jake. When you look at our people now, our people are heavily enchanted. Okay? But Jake in their natural estate, man, Jake is a people that's fit for rulership. Okay? Our people are people that's fit for rulership, and the Lord has reserved a remnant, to come back to him in this time. All right? Because that remnant, okay, is going to be whom the Lord starts a righteous dynasty with in the kingdom. We're going to be delivered, Lord willing. We endure, we of that number. Okay? But the hopeful elect are going to be delivered to begin a righteous dynasty in the earth forever, man. Okay? And Jake has the qualities of rulership, man. Esau don't. Okay? So that's why when you go to Genesis 25, okay, jump to 27, get to the point. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Okay? He's a cunning hunter. And see, when you go into the devil, especially dealing with Amalek, okay, he's a cunning hunter of spirits. On another level, he's a cunning hunter of spirits, man. You know, like there's Esau nature, man, just violence. You know, and the Lord blessed him to be cunning with that violence, man. Okay, and then on another level, he's able to hunt spirits, man, through psyops, through enchantments. Okay, so this devil's rulership, okay, is just based on him, you know, violently dominating the earth forever, man. This is all the devil wants to do. Okay, but it says Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. So you go here to this word plain, dealing with Jacob. All right, which in the Hebrew is thamah. All right, which means perfect, complete. Okay, it says one who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, etc. Okay, and you go down. This the point. It says an ordinary, quiet sort of person. It says complete, morally innocent, having integrity, one who is morally and ethnically pure. You see? So Jake has the qualities, okay, needed for rulership. Okay? Jake has the qualities built in them for to be a righteous ruler. Okay? But the ways of the wicked have seduced them. But there's a remnant whom the Lord, all right, has pulled out of the darkness and brought back to the light. And now we're tapping back into, all right, having this complete morality, having integrity, becoming ethically pure. You know, as we turn back to Yahushua, man. Okay, we're being cleansed, we're being purified by this word, man. Okay, we're becoming who we're supposed to be. Okay, and the Lord is getting ready to remove Esau Edom, who operates under the standard of might is right. That's completely wrong. That's why you go here. Let's get this, and we can end it here. This is 1 Samuel chapter 2. Okay, in verse 7. It said, the Lord make it poor and make it rich. He bring it low and lift it up. So it's the Lord that controls, all right, the rank, okay, the dominion in the earth, man. Okay, it's by him the Heavenly Father establishes rulerships and put rulerships down. Okay, and it says he raises up the poor out of the dust, and we're that poor that's in the dust. We was in confusion, and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes, and the dunghill is a place of dishonor. Okay, so the Lord is raising his sons out of the place of dishonor, and he's getting ready to set us, okay, amongst princes, which is in rulership, man. Okay, Yahshua, he prince of the power. Okay, and to make them inherit the throne of glory, for the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. He will make, it said he will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent, okay, in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. Okay, so Esau, his might is right, philosophy is running out, because the Lord is showing him, nigga, you don't have the most might. The Lord is showing this nigga, you not the mightiest, man. Okay, I set you up for my purpose, for a particular, all right, task, man. Now, all right, your assignment is almost complete. And that's why the Most High is packing this nigga up, man. Okay? It says the adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of the heavens shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the end of the earth. That's over here in the west. And it's going to be with those missiles, man. The end of the earth. That's America, man. Okay? And he shall give strength unto his king and exalt the horn of his anointed, which is Yahushua, man. The strength of his king is Yahushua, and is anointed the rest of the elect, man. Okay, but it begins with Yahushua. Okay? So might don't make right. Okay? The Lord makes right, man. Okay? And he has the last say so in the affairs of men. Okay? So Lord willing, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified till next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala, Abba, soon, Shalom.